Just a couple weeks ago, I got to ride the most terrifying new roller coaster for 2022, Tumbili. No, seriously, it's been a while since a roller coaster made me perspire like an SNS 4D freespin. I don't know what it is about these coasters, but put me on Intimidator 305, Fury 325, or Kingda Ka, and I won't flinch. Send me in line for a 4D freespin, I start contemplating my life choices. Tumbili is a new for 2022 roller coaster located at King's Dominion. Taking a look at the ride stats, we can see that there's nothing attention-grabbing. The ride stands 112 feet, has a track length of 770 feet, and reaches a max speed of 34 miles per hour, though I feel like that might be stretching it for the speed because I sure never felt like we were moving faster than that. But anyways, the real thrill is the free swinging motion. Just like the name suggests, a 4D free spin allows the car to freely rotate upside down in a full 360-degree motion, thus meaning that every ride cycle can bring about a different ride experience. Presentation. Tumbili is located in their new section of the park, Jungle Expedition. This roller coaster serves as the centerpiece of the area, at least for now anyways. The theming is actually pretty well done. The supports look like bamboo, the random broken pieces of ruins or statues, not really sure. It all ties together of some sort of expedition. Is the theming super immersive? Not really, but it's more than what I would expect from a Cedar Fair park, so I give them props. My favorite aspect of the ride theming has to be the music that starts to play every time a train makes a cycle on the track. The sound of the tribal drums beating, which gets your heart pumping as you ascend the vertical 112 lift. Tumbili earns a 9 score for presentation. Ride intensity. Tumbili starts up by traveling up a 112-foot vertical lift, though since the cars are freely rotating, passengers will ascend this lift at a horizontal angle. Once you reach the top, this is where all bets are off. The first little dip off the lift may send you rotating into a front flip or maybe just some extreme swinging back and forth. The layout is super simple from here on out. No turns, just vertical ascending and descending. The ride takes a small hill before diving right underneath itself. The train then rises up into another small hill, followed by another dive down, which leads into one more rise up, and then the train diving underneath into the brake run. Most of the drops on this roller coaster is controlled by trim brakes, which is why I say this roller coaster feels like it never breaks 20 miles per hour, even though the stats say 34 miles per hour. The ride from lift to brakes is about 40 seconds long, so not a super long ride. Now, as for intensity, depending on your experience, you might have a more aggressive ride or a more tame one. Watching POVs, I haven't seen a train flip more than twice, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen. The flipping is more of a fun experience than intense, so overall I can't see a higher score than 5 for ride intensity. Fun factor. If there is one thing I can say about these 4D free spins, they are not boring rides. The unpredictable nature of this attraction keeps you on your toes, ready to flip upside down at any given moment. Even if you have a tamer experience, you're still engaged with the ride. Obviously, the more times you flip upside down is going to make a more fun ride. But again, every person I watched riding this attraction was laughing or screaming during the whole ride cycle. Even I was laughing at various parts of the coaster. Tumbili earns a decent 9 score for the fun factor. Originality. There's no beating around the bush here. Tumbili is almost as unoriginal you can get. The theming aspect makes this coaster feel a little fresh, but we all know that Six Flags has beat this coaster concept to death by building one at almost every property they own. Hey, but at least since this isn't built at a Six Flags park, the ride is not themed to Joker, thank God. Many coaster enthusiasts like to think of this attraction more like a flat ride. I mean, it does feel like that. The layout is extremely compact. You could put one of these coasters almost anywhere. In the end, it's still a 4D free spin with nothing new in its layout or design. I give Tumbili a 1 for originality. Ride smoothness. Unlike the defunct Green Lantern at Six Flags Magic Mountain, Tumbili is actually pretty smooth. The track itself has no issues with rattle, bumps, or jarring transitions. In reality, this category will be judged by how crazy of a ride you get. Being upside down while dropping into a dip can be somewhat uncomfortable, but thankfully the vest restraints alleviate most all issues that you may have. Ride smoothness gets a score of 9. Alright, the final tally comes to 6.6, which lands somewhat in my average category. Tumbili is a decent 40 free spin. For those who haven't ridden one of these, this will be an exciting new addition at King's Dominion. Tumbili isn't meant to be a new major attraction, but a nice filler attraction until this alleged major coaster opens hopefully within the next couple years. If you have been on one of these 40 free spins before, then you know what you're getting into. The nice thing is this attraction isn't themed to DC Comics because it's at a Cedar Fair park. Leave it to Six Flags to beat the DC comic characters into the ground by naming every new attraction after said character. My personal score, I'm going to give it an 8. I'm still not a huge fan of free spins, but this is my favorite of the bunch so far. The theming is really what made me a fan. I love the music, theming, atmosphere, just makes for a more interesting 40 free spin experience. Well, that's going to do it for today's review. What do you think of Tumbili? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please click on the like button, and new to the channel, subscribe. That way you continue to get more great content brought to you by X Scream Thrills.